right, welcome to another episode of Mud, Sweat, and Gears, everybody. I'm your host, John. It is Monday, June 17th, day after Father's Day, and today we're going to do a little follow-up on my bike, as well as basic equipment needs on the trail. You've seen a lot of videos already, I'm sure, so what are the do's and don'ts? What are the haves and have-nots on the trail? What do you need? What don't you need? We're also going to go over a few things on the bike that I missed in the previous overview, so stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful Father's Day. So happy belated Father's Day to all the wonderful dads out there just sending it. It is hotter than a hooker in church today. It's 40 degrees Celsius with the humidex, so there will be no riding today. So I figured I'd take advantage, washing off my bike again after the last episode. And if you haven't watched it and you need a good laugh, I'm serious, check it out. It's called What the Hell Happened? Yeah, my daughter's in it. You'll understand. But anyways, so what we're going to do today, we are going to talk about equipment needs on the trail. What do you guys carry? Comment below. What is essential to you on the trail? What can you not leave home without? All right, I'm going to show you guys what I carry on the trail. Now, this is going to differ from rider to rider, right? Because I'm sometimes, 80 to 150 kilometers off grid. So I have to be prepared for pretty much any situation. So we'll start with this. Always have an external power source, power bank, something. This one's got lights built in. It's got the whole 9 yards. Charge your phone, your camera, whatever. Air compressor, battery powered, and 12 volt. So that's what I like about that. Extra fuses. I've got extra relays. As I explained in my first couple videos about the relay issue I had with this thing. So that's why I carry that. We go to the cargo box. How many times have you seen me use this and throw the F-bomb around? Let's be real. It's frustrating at times, but this little chainsaw works wonders. Good pair of gloves. Always have to carry those. I've got toe straps. I've got emergency lighting. I've got first aid kit. You never know when you're going to get hurt. Basic tool kit. So I carry the tools that I need to replace the most common stuff to go wrong on the trail. You break a tie rod, right? You blow a belt. So obviously you want an 8mm socket and a 1/4 inch ratchet, right? Those are basic essentials for if you're riding, as far as I do anyways. If you're somebody that's just a backyard rider, riding around home, using this thing to, pull a trailer around with wood or whatever, obviously you don't need to go to this extent, but like I said in the previous video I just shot with my daughter, What the Hell Happened? Cargo boxes are fantastic, but they can be a big pain in the ass, especially when you're trying to back up. And you guys notice something missing from my bike? What's missing? Comment below what's missing. I talked about that also in the last video. So the do's and the don'ts. So I've been getting mixed comments, and I've read the owner's manual, I've read the forums, I've read all the crap about fluid level checking. So we're going to do that quickly. For anybody who hasn't done this, never pull from this side. There's little tabs back in here, right? When you want to check your fluids, there's 3 tabs right here, right? Remember the overview video? Lube them up, keep everything nice and lubed, just pops off. And then you slide this back, like so. Take it off, set it aside. All right, there's your oil. There's your transmission fluid. Now, obviously my bike's up on ramps because it's drip drying right now before I give it my WD-40 shine. But when you check your oil, you start your bike, let it run for about a minute, shut it off. Make sure you're on a flat, level surface, obviously. Unscrew it, wipe the dipstick off, put it back in, but don't screw it in. Just set it in till it stops, lift it back out, check the oil level. That's how you properly check your oil. Same with your transmission. My advice for when you're checking your transmission, start the bike and just take it for a quick little toot. You know, a couple minutes, just to get things working and moving. Now, there's going to be some pressure in here, so I wouldn't advise taking it for an hour-long ride, but just give it a quick little ride. Same thing. Take it out, wipe it off, put it back in. Don't screw it in. Pull it out, check the levels. Okay? Now, this little guy here, a little vent for your box, right? If you see this full of shit constantly, right, or it's full of fluid, water, whatever, that's a problem. Drain it, take your plastics off, take your seat off, right? Take this off, get at your air filter, and see what's going on in there. That's telling you got some penetration. You got something going on. Another thing is, I see a lot of people complaining after they wash their bikes that they're blowing belts and everything else. Well, I can't really take these off right this second, but if you follow this up, there's a little vent right next to your exhaust, okay? That feeds basically inside of your belt cover here to dry things out. So if you're in there with an angle, you know, spraying with the hose and this and that, you're bound to get some water in there. So you gotta be careful not to do that. Otherwise, you're gonna run into some issues, obviously. Now, if you watch the episode, The Trail from Hell, I lost my power bank, right? Well, this is Velcro. This has stayed on, okay? Like, this is not coming off. This adhesive is fantastic. It's rated for 15 pounds. Obviously, my power banks don't weigh 15 pounds. That wasn't the one I had on there, obviously, but it works fantastic. It was just a fluke thing. It flew off. I had it plugged into my phone, charging when I was on a ride. Hit a rock the right way, and boom, off it came. So, but I would advise having that, for sure, something. Even if it's not there, up here, wherever. I had another one on here. Okay, I had actually my box mounted for my camera equipment up here. I just put a nut and bolt through here. Nothing too long, obviously, to touch your battery or anything like that. And I had a piece of Velcro on top and another power bank. Never had an issue. So that was fantastic. Obviously, you want to have a good knife, saw, something. You get stuck in a sticky situation, as you've seen. Obviously, camera mounts don't apply to you guys, but I've been messing around with the front one, just playing around a little bit with it. I want to make this one a bit stronger. It's a little too much flex for me, so I'm going to fix that up. But you've all seen the rear camera mount, which is still working fantastic. All right, let's talk about tire pressures. What's your tire pressure? What do you run? I got bead locks. A lot of guys will say, well, you can run them really soft, you know, 6-7 pounds. Sure, but I don't like to run it at that. It feels like you're driving a piece of Jello, right? Me, my preference, between 8 and 12. Sometimes I'll even push it as high as 14 PSI. Now, am I going to wear my tires out faster? Probably, but for the terrain that I'm driving, it changes constantly. So for me, that's a comfortable ride. And if you're spending $15,000, $20,000 on a machine, doesn't matter if it's CF Moto, Can-Am, Polaris, doesn't matter. That's your hard-earned dollars. You should be comfortable when you're riding, right? Exactly. So you inflate your tires to what you feel is comfortable. I don't recommend obviously going over the recommended PSI. Then you're asking for a very serious situation. So stay away from that, please. Now, as far as longevity of the belts, it all comes down to how you ride, what you ride through, how often you pound on that throttle, right? You're making everything stretch and work and get hot. Like, it's all in how your riding style. It comes down to your riding style. That's where R&G comes in handy, because obviously they make the best clutch kits for these things. But always, always, people, stick with OEM belt right from CF Moto. There's a lot of fake shit being sold that claims to be CF Moto OEM. It is not. All right, talk to R&G, get the proper belt. If he doesn't have it in stock there, I'm sure he'll give you the legitimate website to order it from. All right, octane for fuel. Comment below. What do you run? What do you think you should run? Should you follow your owner's manual? My owner's manual says 89, minimum 89 octane. I run that, but I prefer 91 if it's cheap enough. And like I mentioned in my overview, Seafoam. It's a great additive, fantastic additive. Every 5th tank or so, you know, quarter can, and away you go. Keeps everything flowing good, right? Just like I previously mentioned. So, you guys figured out what's missing yet from my bike? No, not yet? Maybe? Also, what do you guys think about these? I'm 6'5". Does this really do much for me? Not really. If a bird was to hit that, all it would do is just deflect and end up right in my face. But cosmetically, it looks like it's supposed to be there, so I'm gonna leave it alone. A lot of people overlook this, right? A lot of people overlook this. See all the water in there? That's just for me hosing, giving this thing a wash down. So I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna blow it all out, right? I'm gonna put dielectric grease on my terminals again. I'm gonna probably check my fuses and relays again. But what's the most common mistake people make with these? That's the original battery. I've had this machine for a year now. All right, I took it out for the winter. I stored it inside, didn't charge it whatsoever. Put it back in the bike, fired right up, boom. Now, should I have charged it? I should have gave it a little trickle charge, yes. But I didn't. So now what I do, every 6th ride or so, I disconnect the battery. It's 2 10 mil bolts. It's very simple. Just don't drop them in the bike. I've done that. Put them aside and put your trickle charger on there. Leave it on there until light turns green and you're good to go. You might as well, right? Why waste money on a battery when you don't have to? Basic, simple maintenance, just like that. All right. Now, another thing you should always carry on the trail, a sweater, right? Whatever the hell you prefer to eat, I prefer peanuts because they're high in fiber, right? So they're filling. So if you get lost, you know, a jar of peanuts is going to go a long way. And I do have a belt, an extra belt on order coming. Always carry a belt with you. In my Polaris, I used to carry an extra belt, tie rods. What else did I carry? Fuel pump. I don't know. If you watch the videos, the front little zipper compartment that I have on that Polaris, that thing was just full. Fluids, parts, you name it. Even though everything was changed on it, I still didn't take any chances. You can never take a chance on the trail because you just never know what's going to happen, right? Where you're going to break down. It's going to happen at the least expected time. You're going to be having the time of your life on a ride, and then all of a sudden, shit's going to go wrong. And I know you guys are nodding your head saying, yep, that's usually the way it goes. You know I'm right. So be prepared and always ride with a partner if you can. Me, I've ridden solo a couple times. Probably not the smartest, especially some of the longer treks that I've done, but I got to bring you guys some content, so that's why I'm out shooting. So that's basically an overview again, follow-up of everything about this bike, what you should carry, and if I missed anything that you guys think is a necessity, then drop a comment below. I'm open to everything. So like I said in the What the Hell Happened video, I don't sugarcoat things when I'm out shooting footage. I like you guys to see the good, the bad, the ugly. I curse, I swear, I don't care. It's me. If I'm having a good day, it'll be a lot less, but yeah. So I mean, there's really not much more to say other than if you're looking to buy one of these, if you're curious as to what I paid, I got obviously the seat, I got the cargo box. We'll go in here to the love shack, as I like to call it. I got the extra storage compartment. Obviously I got the grips for the firearm. I just gave it away. If you guys didn't guess yet, I guess you got it now, didn't you? I just gave it away. What's missing from my bike? But if you're curious, I paid $14,649 Canadian. All right, plus tax, out the door from a dealer in North Bay called Leisure Cycle. I was just on their website 2 days ago, just browsing for curiosity's sake. If you want to get a hold of them, there's their phone number. There's their website right there. Get it nice and close. Hopefully it doesn't turn out blurry for you guys. And they've got a 2022 model as well as a 2023 model. I believe the 2022 model was $12,000. Now I don't believe it came with all the bells and whistles like mine came with, and mine's a 23 model. But I believe they had the 23 model with the different rear trunk. I believe it was the split one. Sorry about that. I told you it was hot. The GoPro just turned off. I might have to blow on it. So anyways, like I was saying, it came with the split rear trunk. And I believe that one was $12,499 Canadian. So my advice, call them if you're looking for a CF Moto. All right, GoPro keeps going off because it's so bloody hot out there. So one last thing before we wrap things up here. I'll be happy to report the shifting issue has been solved. Now, I should have mentioned before, if you get stuck like I did on the trail through Hellride, you can shut the bike off and it'll make it a little easier, obviously, to shift. But you don't want to do that all the time. What happens if you got a dead battery? Like, you never know, right? So, obviously, the little tip I did, adjusting the linkage, backing out that safety stop. Now this thing shifts like butter. I'll show you guys. Like very, like barely any effort now. It's great. And I mean, it ain't gonna fall out. It's not gonna jump out of gear or something on you. That's why the grooves are there, but it's fantastic now. Four-wheel drive's working great. There's no issues whatsoever with the bike now. I will be adjusting the valves likely at probably 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers, making sure they're still in spec. And then at that time, like I said, depending on where I'm at, probably an RNG clutch upgrade. And who knows, maybe even tires if they're needed by then. I try not to tear the shit out of them when I'm on the trails, but you got to have some fun every once in a while. When you got 1,000 cc's under your ass, yeah, you're going to get into it every once in a while. Now that it's broken in, yeah, I'm going to get into it a bit, for sure. I didn't spend 15 grand just to, you know, baby something its entire life. That's not what these machines are designed for. They're designed to perform. So you make them perform, am I right? Absolutely. One last thing before we go. Oil viscosity. I told you guys in previous videos, I changed my own oil. I run 1540 diesel oil, Shell Rotella T4 triple protection. If you have one of these, read your owner's manual. I'm not saying it's the same for all models, but for mine I can run 540, 1040, or 1540. So if 1540 is good enough to run in transport trucks that run 1,000,000 kilometers, I'm pretty sure it's going to last and protect these engines. That's all I ever ran in my Polaris, and I've never had an issue. So let me know your thoughts below. Comment what you think, what you like and dislike about stock models. People are upgrading tires already. I'm not in no hurry for that. I love the machine the way it is. Took the mirrors off now, so I'm good. So we're gonna get it all cleaned up, ready to go shoot again. Be sure to check out the last episode, What the Hell Happened. If you wanna laugh, make sure the kids are in bed. Some foul language, so just a warning. But yeah, I'd like to thank all the subscribers. We are right at 100, pretty close to 100, so that's fantastic. Thank you very much. It means a lot to us. And we're going to continue getting out to shoot. We didn't get out yesterday for Father's Day to do Fat Lake. The weather went for a crap on us. So, and the next 3 days is supposed to be 38 to 40 degrees with the Humidex. So bike's going to be parked. Get a little going over, spit shined, and ready to go when the weather cools off again. Because the GoPro obviously ain't going to function either, even with a little bit of airflow. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the trail.